Champion! Get to the chief!
Enjoyed the quiet while it lasted.
Gala went out in the throne room. He's in the throne room.
Flank them!
This isn't finished! I'll be back with everything I have! And all who stand with Hekarro will be run red.
At attention. You fought well. Proved yourself against enemies both metal and flesh. I name you all Marshal. Your first order is to secure the arena from any remaining rebels. Go. I failed. I should have finished Regalla. But now she'll be back with more machines. Stronger than ever.
I'll do what I can to help.
No, you've done enough. Far more than our bargain called for. When we first met, you spoke of your true mission on which all depends. I wasn't certain if I believed you then. But I believe in you now. So leave me. And get to your task.
What will you do?
Tend to the wounds. What you need is there. Take it. Your deeds today will be remembered like those of the Ten.
This is it. Aether's below. What is this place? There. That console. Come on, Aether. Time to go home. Yes. Elizabeth Sobek. Alpha Prime.
Master override activated. Restoring Aether subordinate function to original code.
Got it. Now to get this back to Gaia.
The visions in the grove have changed. The words of the Ten not clear to us. Here, this must be the vision that Chief Hekarro saw. All of the visions are changed, and this one just arrived. Aloy, here. Let's talk. Please, Aloy. Come here.
The visions throughout the grove are different now. And this one, it just appeared. Is this your doing?
Visions have changed.
That's the one that inspired Chief Hekarro.
More testimony of the old ones.
Hear now the words that reunited a people. Following the tragic events of the war, Anne Faraday, the chief architect of the reconciliation effort, addressed a nation in need of hope.
If we look into the future, the lens of the recent past, our fears loom. Wars waged against machines, scarcity of food and water, storms that drive us from our homes. But true courage means facing those fears with conviction instead of cynicism. Leading the peacekeeping effort with these brave men and women, these marshals of the new Southwest, has strengthened my conviction that when we are united, we can overcome any threat. Join me. Join us in that conviction as we strive for a nation and a world without want or war.
Reporting for duty, Commander. I'm coming with you.
But Hekarro needs you.
Because of you, he has new marshals. And a rallying cry the clans cannot ignore. So I will stand with you on your mission. Give whatever is left of my life. It is what I choose.
How can I say no to that? Zoe, there's someone who wants to join us. I need you to meet him in the foothills and guide him the rest of the way.
Will do, Aloy.
Go to the mountains, west of Plainsong. A friend of mine will meet you on the ascent. I'll join you when I can.
A friend of yours? Should be interesting.
All right. I need to get Ether back to Gaia. Seems like capturing it did something to the other holograms, too. Might be worth checking out.
Swarm.
Is that playback device working properly?
Yes. Thank you for helping to fix it.
My focus is showing more voices out there.
We can never truly know these soldiers, but if you find their voices, we can honor them.
Did the Delvers say anything about where to find the recordings?
Only that she found them in ancient and that they were sent.
There is a location. That should help me find any... What will you do with the recordings?
Well, I'll have to speak to my... They aren't from the Ten, but the voices of all warriors must be heard and remembered.
I'll see if the signal leads me to another recording.
Walk in the light of the vision.
Copy that. We'll buy your own. Dawn the time you need. Jump will be at 9 hours.
Sentries will need to be vigilant.
Join JTF-10 for a covert operation deep within the rainforest. Whether at home or abroad, JTF-10 protected assets critical to the insurrection. Deep in the jungle, concealed by mud and darkness, they laid their traps for their enemies.
On to something else then.
Regala's coming for Hekarro.
You are the tip of the spear that shall finish Regala. Regala will fall.
Observe the grit of JTF-10 in the mountainous regions of the hot zone. Trained to outlast, conditioned for any climate. JTF-10 were elite defenders in even the most remote mountain landscapes. Discover how JTF-10 claimed home field advantage in the desert.
Are any of the challengers worthy of the title?
JTF-10 seized key assets all across the desert. Where it stays free when the hawk is ready to honor.
Oh yeah? Which one?
Aloy,
Out in the field or
a
relaxing at
word,
base.
if you will?
Joint Task
I have no
Force
doubt
10
that
had
Hekarro-
acted
Blood of the
before.
10, Aloy. Regala denied. The truth of the visions revealed. I doubt you have enough skin to mark all your deeds.
We'll just have to remember them then.
Well, thanks to you, the Chief still lives. And hope remains. But that's not why I wanted to speak with you. I need a favor. A personal one. My grandson, Kavo. He was not counted among the dead, which means he must still be with Regala's remaining forces.
He was taken prisoner.
No. He joined them willingly. Like many young soldiers who seek to mark their skin with distinguished deeds. I must search for him. Convince him to come home. Chief Hekarro cannot spare any soldiers for this task, so my blade is alone in this. Unless you'd be willing to join me. I know it is much to ask after all you've done for us. But Kavo is the last of my blood.
What made Kavo join Regala's rebellion?
For some, Regala represents a chance of vengeance against the Karja. During the Red Raids, it wasn't easy to turn the clans back at Baron. Many wanted to pursue the Karja all the way to Meridian.
So when Regala attacked the embassy, they took it as a call to arms.
Yes. But others? The young care only about the glory they think they'll earn by hunting an age-old enemy. As for Kavo, it was probably a bit of both. And a youthful desire for a cause to get the blood burning. Nothing I said could stop him.
So if Kavo didn't listen to you when he joined the rebels, what makes you think he will now?
Kavo was too young to fight during the Red Raids. War was a stranger to him. But he must have experienced the suffering it brings by now. I just have to find him before it's too late.
You said Kavo's your last living relative?
Yes. Before Chief, every skirmish claimed another comrade. One by one, I buried my children. And then, their children.
I'm sorry.
I tried to vent my grief on the battlefield, but I never found comfort there. Only in the wisdom of the visions. And even so, I still couldn't
If Kavo joined Regala's rebellion of his own accord, will Hekarro let him back into the tribe?
The Chief knows the value of mercy, and the toll of unending bloodshed. It's the rest of the tribe I'm working. They won't quickly accept someone who betrayed them. Even with my support, it won't be easy.
But you have to try. I'll help you find your grandson, if I can. Where do we start?
A while back, our scouts reported Kavo's squad left one of Regala's... His squad never returned, but the scouts also spotted one of our own.
So we'll start at the outpost. If we free the prisoner, maybe they'll know where Kavo's squad went.
Shall we head out?
I have some other things to take care of first. I can meet you there.
I'll wait for you on the hill crest southeast of the Grove. We'll make our way to the outpost from there. Until then, strike true.
I know where my loyalties lie. But gotta admit, it's an impressive feat.
You know what's more impressive? Taking down both the machine and its rider.
I finally earned enough medals from the hunting ground.
May your blade be bright.
Champion, I fear we must lean on your strength and generosity again.
Just tell it to her straight, Ducka. The tribe needs the arena. She's our only hope to getting it open again.
You need the arena? But the cool route's over.
That's true, but we also use the arena to boost the tribe's morale.
We use it for training. Herd in machines so our soldiers can experience the glory of the kill in a controlled setting.
Which, of course, boosts morale. But Chief Hekarro won't let us reopen the arena until the ballista protecting the field is repaired.
We need it in case a machine runs amok, and it was damaged during the cool route. The parts we need aren't easy to find.
I get it. You need me to hunt down some machines and grab the parts.
We'd ask someone else, but every squad in the Grove is on alert. But the task is not without compensation, right, Kala?
Of course. Once the arena is open again, I would be honored to invite you to compete. A wide variety of machines will be available.
And I will award you prizes for victory. Not just from the arena, but also for medals won at hunting grounds. You'll be able to trade them for some of the tribe's very best gear.
To fix the ballista, we'll need a sinew from a rollerback, along with some bristleback tusks. Both kinds of machines have been spotted near a campfire to the southeast. When you're done, bring the parts to me at the maw of the arena, on the northeast side of the Grove.
Okay, I'll see what I can do.
One more thing. If you're going back into the wilds, I have another duty tied to our soldiers' morale. A regrettable one. Every Tenakth soldier carries a tag carved with their squad symbol. Rebels have been hoarding the tags of the soldiers they kill. You might find such tags at any enemy outpost. If you do, bring them to me. I'll make sure they're returned to the soldier squad mates and loved ones. Having confirmation sometimes soothes their grief. And there are bounties involved, if that matters to you.
Thank you, Champion. And please don't forget the parts for the ballista.
Guess I need to head southeast to find that rollerback. And I think I saw a herd of bristlebacks not far from here.
I think I might head over to hunting grounds later tonight. Sure.
Might as well set a new record.
Why don't we make this more interesting?
With everything that happened, I feel like I need to do more. For the fam, try.
I'll join too then. I wasn't asked for.
You've come this far. We will stand by you.
Wait, you and me guarding the Memorial Grove? Your enemy is mine. And now I've been
No army. March without supplies.
We'll come back anytime.
extra guards.
Next time, I will
And
convince
Kara
you to
must be
buy.
concerned about Regatta. I finally earned enough medals from the hunting grounds to take Ducka.
Good day.
Not bad.
Outlander,
Your enemy
are
is
you
an
in
eye.
need of supplies?
I'm still not sure.
Takara was risking a lot on this job. There will be blood spilled today, no doubt. You are prepared. Preparing to leave. You need supplies? I thought I'd have something.
You shouldn't be jumping around here. Regala will fall. So,
Maybe if I move this piece there?
shame
painfully rude. We won't let Regala take the grove.
Regala will fall. You've come this far. We will stand by.
Rest in peace.
Be guided by the Ten.
They definitely don't sound like rebels. Maybe if I follow their tracks, I can find out where they're headed.
Like this? Oh, you're not waving a hammer around, Aaron. Try a gentler touch.
And my big sausage fingers don't really do gentle, okay?
Bring it back. Trace the line. To your right. Other right.
I just saw it. It's the one Aloy found up north. Gotcha! They call it a concussion beat party or something. Yeah, now that's music.
Aloy! Erend, you're all better. And you're here.
Varl said you might need some help after all. Doing, complicated things.
We still have much training to do, of course. One does not become hunter in a day.
Each seed grows at a pace of its own. Doesn't mean it won't bloom. You should know your Tenakth friend arrived.
Kotallo.
I heard their warriors drink people's blood. I want to sleep with one eye open.
I think he's seen enough blood for a lifetime.
I showed him to one of the rooms. He seems to appreciate the privacy.
Looks like you've got things under control. I should get this to Gaia.
Right. We'll keep on training. Catch up as fast as we can.
I'm seeing glyphs in my dreams already.
Well, while you've been off gallivanting around, I've been working with Gaia to find out more about the land gods. So from where I'm standing, you're in need of some training. Come along.
Oh, okay.
Are you sure that's what the data says?
I'm telling you, it's a drink, but it's soft.
How is it soft?
Hey,
Hey.
a nice place.
Well, it's not like I built it or anything.
Right. Well, I can see why you had your doubts about bringing us along. It is a lot to take in. But, don't worry. That's nothing I can't handle.
Right. I see Varl gave you a focus.
Well, it doesn't look as fashionable on me, but by the Forge, granted, a lot of them are bad, you know, the old world ending and such. I'm still trying to wrap my head around most of it, but I never really understood how you were ever able to find my sister back in the Sundom. And now I do, sort of. It makes me feel like I could be useful, you know?
It takes some time, but yeah. I guess you know what we're up against by now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When Varl first told me those bastards come from the stars, I thought he'd eaten too many of those medicinal berries. Yeah, but I've gotten used to seeing impossible things, thanks to you. I just wish they weren't always trying to kill us.
Yeah, you and me both. How are you settling in?
Yeah, Varl's been helping me get the lay of the land, when he's not getting all tongue-tied. I don't know who makes him more nervous, that Gaia lady or our new Utaru friend.
Well, what about the Vanguard? Aren't you supposed to be back east, ordering them around?
I sent some of them back to Meridian with a message. I doubt Avad will mind me sticking around to help the savior of Meridian.
So, you've met our new Tanakh friend.
He's, quiet. I thought his people were supposed to be bloodthirsty maniacs.
You shouldn't believe everything you hear.
Yeah. Well, I guess if you trust him, so do I.
I should get going.
I just keep practicing with this thing.
Wow, this place is starting to come alive.
Yeah, and Gaia placed all the data she got from your focus into that archive room. With the focuses you gave us, we'll be able to access it at our own pace. You know, learn and train. And if you need us, we'll be there to fight at your side.
Got it. Thanks, Varl. How's, training with Cell?
You know we really are training. Mostly. Look, she reads glyphs faster than I can already. I'd be a fool to refuse her help.
Of course. Looks like I was wrong about the Zeniths. Their ship didn't explode on its way to Sirius like everyone thought.
And we saw how they lied about creating a better future at their launch facility. Guess they lied about what happened to their ship, too. But still, the tribe settling amongst the stars.
I couldn't put a single dent in their shields, Varl. That one Zenith almost killed me.
That didn't stop you from resurrecting Gaia. Won't stop us from using Hephaestus against them.
Let's hope that's enough. You guys reading something over there?
We just finished going through all the logs you collected back in Nora territory, and All Mother Mountain. It's hard to imagine that my ancestors were trapped inside, without the knowledge from Apollo to guide them.
Thanks to Ted Faro.
Yeah. I wonder how it must have felt when they were finally free. The world must have seemed so beautiful.
Not to mention terrifying. They weren't much more than kids.
And they became an entire tribe.
I'm guessing you've spoken with Kotallo?
I wanted to pay my respects for those who fell when we were ambushed at the embassy. Told him I'd never seen anyone throw themselves at a machine like he did. He said a warrior shouldn't be praised for fulfilling their duty. For a second I thought I was talking to my mother. Never thought a Tanakh and a Nora war chief could have so much in common.
How's everyone handling their focus?
And we all have our difficult moments. Erend definitely curses the most. but I'm hoping Oseram's stubbornness prevails.
How's everyone doing?
Just taking it all in. No one snapped their bowstrings yet.
Think you can hold the fort while I'm gone?
If Aaron stops listening to the same music over and over again, maybe. We'll be fine.
Varl looks happy about his training partner.
Learning is best done together.
Have you gone back to Plainsong at all?
I thought about it, but I wouldn't know what to tell them. The chorus already thinks me a thorn in the thicket. If they knew what we did to Fa, even if they understood, there'd be little they could grasp about all this. No. For now, I must leave the tribe behind.
What are you up to?
Gaia was kind enough to put together a list of glyphs used by the Old Ones. She helped me decipher some of the data you've collected, and showed me how to use the focus to help the process. It's not easy, but it's been working so far.
That's good to hear. I see you've settled in.
Gaia did say this place was built for us, so we could regain control of our lands with her terraforming system. Nurture them like the land gods do Plainsong's fields. It does strike me as odd that a place of life should have so much metal.
Did Gaia tell you anything about the Zeniths?
She did, though it wasn't exactly easy to believe. To think that there are places among the stars where life can bloom as it does here, it is humbling, to say the least, and heartbreaking that such life should be bent on destroying ours.
So, how does a tribe like the Utaru manage to maintain the peace with warriors like the Tenakth?
By holding them off. When our fields bloomed aplenty, but Plainsong's dishes provided sanctuary, and in the end, even the Tenakth saw sense in a truce. The Utaru promised to provide the Tenakth with food from our crops every year. In exchange, the Tenakth would relinquish one of their own, a veteran, to train the Utaru in combat. This custom was abandoned a few years after the derangement, but some veterans still remain in the plains.
I've been meaning to ask, what's the deal with you and the chorus? You didn't seem to be on the best of terms.
That's what happens when you're the one Utaru who insists on publicly— When the Carja invaded the Utaru plains, they burned our fields. Those who were too weak to make the trip back to Meridian.
To be sacrificed in the Sun Ring.
I was helping the healers back then. As waves of— The chorus was divided in how to face the invaders. Some saw sense in raising arms. Others believed the dishes would keep us safe, as they had many times before. And while they bickered, I buried the seeds of the Fallen.
You've spoken with Kotallo?
A few words. Tenakth don't have much use for us outsiders. You must have made quite the impression for him to offer his fealty.
So you've been talking to Gaia?
Yes. She was kind enough to take me through some of the history of the Old Ones, including their demise and the heroic actions of her creator, Elizabeth Sobek. I was surprised to see she was you. Past, but reborn? Not that I claim to understand how.
You've been getting to know Erend, I assume?
Of course. Any friend of Varl's is a friend of mine. In this case, a very loud friend.
It couldn't have been easy. Seeing your people suffer while the Karja invaded your lands.
I come from a small village near Plainsong. My grandmother used to say there was no seed that wouldn't grow there. I moved to the Dishes when I decided to apprentice as a healer. When the Red Raids began, I thought about going back, but the injured kept pouring into Plainsong. One day, I woke up to hear a Karja raiding party had ransacked my village during the night. I rushed there with the healers to help the survivors, but the smell of burning flesh haunts me to this day.
I'm sorry, Zoe.
I made it a point to appear before them to demand that we take a stand against the invaders. I was denied. So I left to fight on my own.
You said you set out to fight the Karja alone?
I did. News of my disagreement with the Corps. Before I knew it, I had more than a dozen who talked. We knew we couldn't take on the Karja armies head-on, but we also knew the lay of the land better than they did. We ambushed smaller raiding parties, sabotaged their supply lines, and hit their encampments at night.
Sounds like you were a force to be reckoned with.
Enough that the Tenakth took notice. When the clans began to push the Karja back east, they let us join their ranks. We chased the enemy all the way to Barren Light.
You said you were at Barren Light when the Tenakth defeated the Karja?
Tenakth marshals climbed the cliffs of the Daunt under cover, then attacked from the... Before we knew it, the gates were open, and the full... What happened next was... When all the dust and blood settled, our enemies defeated. I went back to Plainsong. But even as the harvest passed, it didn't feel like I'd truly returned at all.
Is that when you became a grave singer?
I thought soothing the suffering. Then you came along and gave me a choice. I could either sing at people's graves or fight for a chance to keep them alive.
I'm glad you chose the latter. Right, I should probably go.
I shall return to our training then. Aloy, we've gathered some supplies in that chest. Take what you need.
Looks like someone's made this space their own.
I see you found Varl and Zoe's room, Aloy. I believe they wanted private accommodations.
I see.
Looks like the old ones used their focuses to send us.
So the Ten carried their visions with them.
I don't know if I'd like that. I wouldn't want my Aunt Alga knowing she could just talk to me every second day.
Aloy.
It's good to see you. I'm guessing you've got a lot of questions?
I've been told of our enemy and their intentions. Your friends showed me to the vision you keep in this place, Gaia, and gave me this focus. I don't pretend to fully understand everything, but all I really need to know is where to train and when to fight.
Welcome to the team, then. What are you looking at over there?
The others have been helping me decipher the symbols the focus shows me. So, I thought I'd try to understand the weapon you intend to use. This Hephaestus, it will be able to make machines? That answer to Gaia?
Yes.
How many?
As many as we need.
Such power. Has the world ever seen the like?
Now that you know who the enemy is, do you have any questions?
I'll admit, I find them hard to grasp. From the heavens. Vulnerable.
For now.
I will leave the strategy to you. I trust you will point my blade where it will cut the deepest.
You've had some time with the team now. Any thoughts?
I admit, I was surprised to see Nutaru here. Farmers don't make for effective soldiers.
I'm told she rallied some in her tribe against the Karja, and fought all the way to Barren Light.
Interesting. Perhaps I am mistaken.
You said the Bulwark was your home a long time ago. That you were part of the Sky Clan.
Yes.
That's all you're gonna tell me?
Fine. As you wish. My parents were killed in a clan skirmish, so... as I grew older, I came to be known as an accomplished fighter. Tekote took a special interest in me. I fought by his side against the Karja, and led my squad on a dangerous climb into the Daunt. It was I who opened the gates at Barren Light, from the east side, allowing the Tenakth to raise it.
That must have gotten you some attention.
Indeed. I was welcomed home as a...
Then why'd you leave?
I became a marshal.
Why did you leave the Sky Clan to become a marshal?
I was sent to the Kulrut by Tekote. Back then, I would have obeyed his every order. I believe I was too blind to see the fear in his eyes. Fear of a rising young warrior challenging his command of the clan. I returned a hero from the battle at Barren Light. But to him, I was only a threat. Never occurred to him that I had no interest.
Why did Tekote think you wouldn't be a threat to him if he sent you to the Kulrut?
Tekote knew that if I survived the Kulrut, I'd be forced to forsake the clan to serve the Tenakth as a whole. I'd never be allowed to challenge his command, even if I wanted to. After our victory at Barren Light, said it would be selfish to rob Hikaru and the marshals of a warrior like myself. Even though he knew perfectly well I had no intention of ever leaving. It was exile, guised as an honor. So I became a marshal, and never looked back.
I'm sorry you had to go through that.
I am not. Though it pained me at the time, a marshal is what I was destined to be.
When we were at the Bulwark, for the Wings of the Ten, Hikaru, what does it mean?
The visions tell us that the Ten flew on great metal and leapt. For us, to imitate this feat is the ultimate expression of martial prowess, and it is why the challengers leap into the arena during the Kulrut. Many times I imagined it as a child, the feeling of freedom.
What did Chief Hikaru say when you told him he'd be joining me here?
You spilled rebel blood at the Grove, and helped reunite the clans. There was little more to be said. He understood.
Well, I'm honored he lent me his best marshal, at least for a little while.
Indeed.
I should go. Feel free to check in on Hikaru and your people. Door's always open here.
I will. May the Ten walk with you.
Holograms. Gaia, I thought you said the data here was lost.
I was able to repurpose the equipment to store the data you have acquired in your travels.
Only for you.
Looks like Erend and Katalo moved their stuff in.
How'd they do that?
Looks like someone's put some of my stuff in here.
Aloy, I see you found your room. Your companions thought you would appreciate a private space of your own.
That was thoughtful of them. I've been carrying Elizabeth's pendant with me for months. But since we're gonna stay a while, I think I'll keep it here, where it'll be safe. Elizabeth put all of her faith in Gaia. And Gaia put all of her faith in me. If I can do it all. For the subfunctions, defeat For Zenith. Heal the world. I'd like to think Elizabeth would be proud. My old spear. Rust helped me make it. When I finished my training. Feels like so long ago now. When Varl found me after the Hades Proving Lab, I thought I saw Rost. I don't think he'd understand any of this. Or what I have to do. But still. Wish he was here. This is the rite of passage that Vishav gave me at the embassy. I liked him. He seemed like a good man. I think he was really looking forward to going home. Regala's attack. The embassy. The marshals ambushed and surrounded, killed one by one. Reminds me of the massacre at the Proving. Back in the Sacred Lands. So many lives wasted. And for what? No good. Door's locked until Gaia can restore access.
There used to be a rainforest so big the old ones called it the lungs of the planet?
That sounds lovely.
Yeah. They burned it to the ground at some point.
Oh.
But they helped bring part of it back in Sobek's time.
That's good to hear.
I wonder if it grew back after the rebuild.
I'd like to think so.